Berkshire Hathaway posted a 29% jump in third quarter profit as it recorded big gains on investments during the financial crisis. However, operating results missed forecasts amid weakness in insurance operations. Somebody who knows Berkshire Hathaway as well as anyone in South Africa is Corky Koyman, head of Sim Global. I guess the other big thing to come out of this, Corky, is he's sitting on $40 billion US dollars ready to spend.
Yeah, in fact, I think it's a bit more. It's 42.1 billion, and he keeps generating more. But you're right. I think it was a very good result, and a lot of it was driven by the railroad and power production businesses, Burlington and Mid-American, and then also obviously the investment income, where he generated the earnings now from the conversion of warrants he bought in 2008 in Goldman Sachs and also GE. But yes, the insurance result disappointed. Nothing to do with him. It's severe hailstorms in Europe, and as Buffett says, when you're in a big insurance business, especially property and casualty, you'll have good years and you'll have bad years. And the trick is to make sure that, let's say, on a 10 or 20-year cycle, you price when you write your insurance premiums sufficiently high to make up for possible losses, and then you make up on the investment income. And indeed, just as a last point, the investment income wasn't shabby at all. It was about, I think, 760 million odd, better than last year. So, yeah, I think it was actually quite a good result.
There's 600,000 shareholders in Berkshire Hathaway, quite a few of them South Africans, Corky. What's the appeal? Why do South Africans actually like this company so much?
Alec, I think it's just you and me. It's you and me. We've taken all the South African investors across to... Look, I think what attracts regarding Berkshire Hathaway is firstly, it's a very safe company. Management, the ethics are totally above board, is very transparent in what it does, and it gives you a very good exposure to America. It used to be very much insurance-driven, but he's been building up the consumer exposures. And remember, the consumer in the U.S. up till this year has had a hard time. So I think, with the consumer coming back in the U.S., those businesses will do well. And then generally, he's been deploying the cash in good businesses that will just consistently give you a return. I do think, there's South Africans, when I travel the world, the one thing that we still have is we've got a much better investment culture than most other countries. If you look at the length or the period in which South Africans hold stocks in terms of just our insurance industry, our mutual fund industry, and I suppose from that point of view, Berkshire Hathaway attracts a lot of investors.
Colin Coleman wouldn't tell us his thoughts on it because he's intimately involved at Goldman Sachs, but the Able rights issue, Corky, you know this business well. It does appear to be guaranteed to succeed, and one wonders why, certainly at the price that they've put it at, one wonders why you need Goldman Sachs to underwrite it in the first place.
Yeah, it's one of those, that I suppose as any business, when you're going to do a rights issue, your risk is, the so-called fat tail event, that let's say the rand suddenly falls 30%, or there's some unexpected event, and you can't get your rights issue placed. So you always do need the safety of a underwriter, but you are right. At the price at which these rights are being placed, you almost don't need an underwriter.
I suppose it's also telling us that Able desperately needs the money to survive.
Well, I think, once again, and I haven't spoken to Leon or anybody on the team there, but the amount of emotional negativity towards African Bank now after, the disappointments, you almost just need to make sure that your price is so low, that it is so attractive that even the most emotionally negative still say, I can't let this go. And it's a big rights issue, make no mistake. So they do need quite a lot of capital. So it's actually got to be attractive.
A bit like the Nedbank rights issue when they got into trouble some years ago.
Quite correct, quite correct. Yeah, at that stage, you can't afford to play games and price it finely. So I think it's actually quite attractively priced, and you can actually see how initially when it was announced, the share price fluctuated a bit, but it's been settling around this price because investors obviously do the calculation at what is my average price now in terms of following my rights. And, you can see that in that regard, it's investors are already calculating where the rights will price, and it will be close to take-up price. And so I think the rights issue shouldn't be a problem.
Thanks to Koki Koiman, he's head of Sim Global. And after the break,